Hello! In this tutorial I will show you how to convert your 3D scans made in Luma AI to interactive point cloud like this one. I will use this scan as an example. It's made of stock video footage from a drone. Go to your dashboard, click on download and select PLI full mesh. To convert the mesh to the point cloud, you will need Mesh2Pointcloud Blender template that I've made. It's free and you can find it in the link in the video description. Now the template looks like this. This is the early alpha version. I'm working on a Blender add-on for it, but so far this is just a file template. Here you can find the script, and the first thing you need to do is to click this Run Script button. And then you will see those buttons Mesh2Pointcloud in the Object Properties panel. Now I'm deleting the default monkey and importing the mesh. Okay, after the mesh is imported, there are some extra steps you need to do. So in this case, when you import the PLI file, you don't have any textures, but the colors are saved in the vertex color attribute. Go to Object Data Properties, Color Attributes. Here you can see this attribute, and you need to add a material that's capable of displaying the vertex colors. So you can add Bake Matte, and here instead of color you have to change it to call. So there's a difference in naming here, and now you can see the model in full colors. And in the template there's this box that you have to fit the model in. So I will clean up this model and scale it to fit it in this area. Alright, so it looks like this so far, and I don't want to have this piece on the top. There's also a sky that's not necessary for this point cloud. So now I'm going to edit mode, and in edit mode I will select those unnecessary vertices and just delete them. Make sure to check this button, toggle X-ray, so you can select all the vertices that are not visible in the front. Okay, after cleaning up and fitting the model inside the bounds, go ahead and change the name of the model, because right now this object has this funky name. So let's call it like this. Go to Object Properties, click Add Point Cloud Nodes, and then click Go to Nodes to edit some settings. In this case you can leave everything by default. The only thing we need to change in this setup is to delete this color attribute. Normally if the model had a texture, you would use the textures to make a color attribute from the textures and bake it using this geometry nodes. But since the model already has the vertex colors, delete this attribute so it doesn't override the color. Now go back to Object Settings and click Prepare to Bake. Okay, now you can see that in the baking material there are 4 textures. First, make sure that you see the colors on the model. So in the previous step I renamed this attribute from color to call. So this is the name that comes from Luma. And now select this texture, make sure that the object is selected, go to Render Properties, Bake, and click Bake. Here you can see the texture. Each pixel is a color of 1 point. Now you need to save this image, so go to Image, Save, and click Save As. PNG, RGB, 8 bits. Now connect the second attribute to the emission shader and click Add this texture. Now click Bake and save this image. Connect the third one, select the texture, click Bake, save it, connect the last one, select the texture, click Bake, and save the image. The last step is outside of Blender. Click this button, Cablesgl template, and this is the Cables editor. It works directly in browser. You need to sign in or log in, and then you can edit the patch. Click Open in Editor, and in Editor click here and click Clone Patch. This will create your own copy of the project. Now you need to change this scene, so go to Point Cloud Textures. So those 4 textures make the entire point cloud. Drag and drop it here. Now select the first texture node, so this node called texture, and then you have the name of the texture. Click on the file and select the proper texture. So look at the suffix. This is a pose base texture. Select pose base. So this is the position of the points. Then select the second texture. I will make it a little bit bigger. Okay, select this one, pose precise, click File, find pose precise. The third one is for color. And the last one is a normal. Okay, now you can make it make the preview bigger. In the settings you can find some presets. Choose the preset that you like, and then you can modify it. Go to point material, change the point size. You can also change the animations, and you can change the navigation. So in this scene you can select the limits for minimum scale, minimum and maximum position, and also rotation. Then you can edit some animations in displacement area. So there's this point cloud focusing and defocusing depending on where you look. And at the bottom of the settings there's post-processing. In the post-processing you can add some additional effects, you can change some colors, and you can modify it. Try different settings, play with the sliders and find the sweet spot. After you're done with the stylization, click Escape to exit full screen. You can disable this file dialog, and if you want to save this preset before exporting, go to this settings area, select the presets node and click Add Preset. So this node is holding the preset. Now you can select all the presets and delete them. Take this one and plug it in this first pink input. So this will be the default preset. Click Save. And now reload and see if it works. Okay, the last step is in the settings area again. Select the sidebar And here in the preferences, uncheck the visible, so the final export won't have those properties. Click Save again, and now you can publish it. So if you go to patch settings, scroll down, and there's the button for publishing this patch, and there's also an option to export, so you can go to export and export zip file. This will generate HTML plus JavaScript package that you can put in your server and use as a website. Or if you want to mint it as an NFT, you can check this one, export without subdirectories, export a zip file, and you can make an NFT on Tezos out of it. So this is the first version of the template. I will be working on more features. If you have any questions, you can contact me on Discord, and see you next time.